Hey guys, welcome to TomyTek Outdoors. Today I'll be sharing my very first kayak crabbing trip. I've been crabbing all my life and from a boat for about 15 or so years. I almost didn't share this video because it was an epic fail. I did quite a few things wrong and didn't consider quite a few things that I really should have. But I decided to share this anyways just so you guys can learn from the mistakes that I made. So in this video, there will be a lot of things to not do that I will point out throughout the video. In this part of the video, I'm getting my line ready. I have my anchor line that goes to my float, and then the float goes to another line that attaches to a chain, and that attaches to your main line, and then you have the same thing on the other side. I will be doing a more in-depth video of how everything's set up to run a Trotline. Right here I'm deploying my line. The first mistake I did was I should have actually dropped the anchor behind my prop stick instead of in front of it. That way I could put the main line through my prop stick to help me deploy it so that it gets away from the kayak, which you'll see me actually in the video trying to put the main line through my prop stick, and I was having issues doing that. One big problem you can see already is that my Fishfinder is in the way, and you can see my line keeps getting caught in it. I'm right-handed, so when I installed my Fishfinder, naturally I would put it on the right side because I tend to look to my right. But for kayak crabbing, that kind of gets in the way. Another thing that you can see that gets in the way is my paddle. Right here I'm moving it, but when I go fishing, I typically put my paddle on the right side, so that's what I just did out of habit. As you can see, my line did get caught in it a few times. What I started doing here was feeding my Trotline out by hand. I was trying to elevate it so that I could get the line away from my Fishfinder and hopefully deploy it a little bit easier. So right here I'm grabbing my bucket that has my Trotline in it because I thought it would be a little bit easier to deploy it from my lap so that it doesn't get caught on anything that's in the front. Right here you can see I lose my cover to my bushel basket as my line hits it and knocks it into the water. I do later on go and retrieve it after I deploy my line, but one key thing is to make sure you have everything tied down that should be so you don't lose it. But luckily the basket lid floats. So right here I'm at the end of my line, so I grab my clip and I already have behind me my chain that's hooked up to the buoy line that hooks up to the buoy that goes to the anchor line to the anchor. So all that's sitting in the back of my kayak and ready to go. So all I have to do is hook my main line to the chain. So right here I'm trying to take the slack out of my line. When you deploy your line, you tend to drift to the side because you're taking care of tangles or hang-ups or things like that. So what I'm trying to do here is pedal forward, and then I look at my buoy in the back to see if I'm lined up with it. And when I feel like I'm lined up enough and I've stretched the line, I will drop everything else. So now that the line's deployed, I run it immediately, but I start from where I dropped the line. So here I use my net to grab the buoy line and put it over my prop stick. Then I continue forward, and once I go over the chain, we're ready to crab. So here's my first crab, and as you can see, as I scoop it, my net actually hits my fish finder and I can't turn the net up quick enough so the crab gets out. So here I am at the end of the line and saw only one crab for the first run. I use my net here to take my line off my prop stick. Now I'm starting my next run. So here I catch a crab and don't hit my fish finder. I'm using a little bit lighter net from the one I was using earlier. This allowed me to move the net through the water a little bit quicker because the bigger one caused a lot of drag and I wasn't able to turn it as quickly. This was one of my quick trips again. I only crabbed the late afternoon. I probably only got about 3 hours maybe. I was able to run my line about, I don't know, I'd say about 6 times. But I only managed to get 4 keepers. But if you include everything that I lost, probably should have had close to 20 crabs. But this was just really an experimental crabbing trip for me, so I could figure out what I need to do to perfect crabbing from my kayak. Here are a couple shots of my kayak rigged for crabbing. Like I said earlier, I will do a more in-depth video of my kayak crabbing setup, or even just my kayak setup in general. If you have any questions about my setup, please comment in the comment section below. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.